Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are diving into something that's literally all around us, a kind of hidden, invisible network that holds our entire world together. We are talking about biodiversity.
So to kick things off, let me ask you a question. What on earth is the connection between a tiny grain of rice, the absolute tallest tree you can imagine in a forest, and, well, you? It sounds a little bit like a riddle, I know, but the answer is the key to, well, pretty much everything on our planet.
You guessed it, the answer is biodiversity. It's this incredible, unbelievably complex web that connects every single living thing on Earth. But, okay, that's a big word. What does it actually mean?
When you really get down to it, the idea is actually pretty simple. Bio just means life, right? And diversity means variety. So put them together. Biodiversity is just the variety of all life on Earth. And we're not just talking about the big, cool animals. This includes every plant, every tiny microorganism, and the very places they call home, the whole shebang.
Now, I get it. This idea of the variety of all life can feel huge, like almost too big to wrap your head around. But thankfully, we can make sense of it by breaking it down into 3 different levels, and each one kind of builds on the one before it. Okay, so first up, on the smallest scale, we've got genetic diversity. This is all the variety you see inside of a single species. Think about all the different types of dogs, for instance, or for us, humans, all the different eye colors. That's genetic diversity in action. Now, if we zoom out a bit, we get to species diversity. This one's pretty straightforward. It's the number of different species in one place. You know, like all the different trees, birds, and insects you'd find in a single forest. And finally, taking the widest view, we have ecosystem diversity. This is the variety of entire environments across the planet. We're talking everything from scorching deserts to the deepest oceans to sweeping grasslands.
All right, so we've got these 3 layers of variety. But so what? Why does any of this actually matter to us in our daily lives? Well, the truth is, biodiversity isn't just some nice-to-have thing that's pretty to look at. It is the absolute foundation of our world.
In fact, let's just nail this down. I'm going to give you 5, just 5, absolutely crucial reasons why biodiversity is essential for our very survival.
First, it keeps everything in balance. Every organism has a job, and together they keep nature stable. Second, it provides our food. Pretty important, right? From the grains we farm to the fish in the sea. Third, it's a massive source for medicines. So many life-saving drugs come from unique plants and animals. Fourth, it literally drives our economies. Think about agriculture or tourism. And finally, it is our planet's life support system. It gives us the oxygen we breathe and keeps our soil rich and healthy.
Okay, but here's where we have to get serious. This vital, life-giving foundation, it's at risk, big time. And human activities are now posing some major threats to the very web of life our planet depends on.
And these threats are no joke. We're talking about massive deforestation, which just wipes out homes for countless species. Then there's pollution, which is contaminating the air, water, and soil they need to live. Our growing population is putting a huge strain on natural resources. On top of that, climate change is shifting entire ecosystems, sometimes way faster than species can adapt. And of course, illegal poaching and hunting continue to push so many incredible animals closer and closer to extinction.
Now, I know that sounds pretty daunting, but here's the good news. It's not all doom and gloom. We have some really powerful ways to fight back. And when it comes to protecting life on Earth, the story really boils down to 2 main strategies.
On one hand, you have what's called in situ conservation. The keyword there is in. This means protecting species right there, in their natural homes. We're talking about national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, that kind of thing. Then, on the other hand, you've got ex situ conservation. Think X like exit. This is all about protecting species outside of their natural habitats. This is where places like zoos, botanical gardens, and these incredibly important seed banks come into play. Both are absolutely vital. But here's the most important part. This whole effort isn't just for scientists and lab coats or for governments to figure out. No way. Every single one of us has a role to play in this story. So, the real question is, what can you do?
And the awesome thing is the steps we can take are actually pretty simple. Plant more trees. It sounds small, but it's huge. Work on reducing pollution. Be smarter about how we use precious resources like water and energy. Look out for the wildlife right there in our own neighborhoods. And maybe one of the most powerful things, just talk about it. Spreading awareness among our friends and family, because every little bit really does help.
And that brings us to the real bottom line.
This isn't just some abstract environmental issue happening far away. Let this sink in. Biodiversity is the foundation of life on Earth. If biodiversity is lost, human survival will also be in danger. It is that simple, and it is that serious.
So that leaves us with one last, very personal question. We've seen what this incredible web of life is, we've seen why it matters so much, and we've seen the threats it's up against. So the question isn't really if we should protect it anymore. The real question is, how will you protect it?